Tonight you're going to see Polk Salad Jenny fix one of Santa's favorites, fried quail and grits. I buy these quail at Kroger, and this is a box that I bought a while back, and looks like they've changed the box on me. So now I'm going to get out of the way and let Santa cut them up for me.
Okay, all I'm doing here is cutting these birds in half. This is what they look like out of the package. Sometimes they'll have a stray feather here and there. You just want to pull that off. If the neck is still on the bird, you want to leave that because that'll fry up nice and crispy. A lot of these little small bones on these birds will fry up so crispy you can actually eat them. So I'm just going to take the breast right here. I like to do these when they're still just a little bit frozen and they're good and firm. And just cut them in half. Okay, we've got all the birds cut up, and I'm just going to pour some buttermilk over these, and I'll coat those real good in just a second with that buttermilk. We've got our little fryer over here heating the oil up. I've been frying food for our family for Jenny and I. In a couple of months we'll have been married for 13 years, and I've been the fryer the whole time. And just recently, like in the last couple of months, we discovered that Jenny is a much better fryer than I am. So she's actually going to take over and fry these birds. And I think it's because she has a lot more patience in the kitchen. When I fry, and after the first few things that I fry, I tend to lose my patience and I let the flour clump up on some of the stuff. So the first is not as good as the middle, and then the last is not as good as the middle. So when you eat something that Jenny has fried, the last piece and the first piece and all through the middle, they're all just the same. Now what you just watch me do is just put some all-purpose flour in this other bowl for her. And I'm just going to take some salt, and I wish I could measure this for you, but I just kind of think that's about enough salt. And what we'll do is we'll taste the first bird that comes off. We'll see if it's salty enough. We need to add in a little bit more seasoning to it. If it's too much, we'll add a little bit more flour. Okay, we're getting ready to start our creamy grits. And so what I've got here is I've got a cup of ground grits. I've got a cup of water. I've got 4 cups of milk, and this milk and this butter that we're about to add is what make this grits creamy instead of just a bland, sort of tasteless grits. This will be real rich and creamy, and a whole stick of butter. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this going. I don't want to scald the milk, but I'm almost going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to cut the heat down, and I'm just going to kind of stir it for about 30 minutes. It takes a while to make this. It's worth making. A couple of things that Jenny wanted me to mention to you. One is that it's not going to be our 13th anniversary in a couple of months. It's going to be our 12th. So I'm off a year. The other thing is these are stone ground grits, and I usually wash my grits because my mother washed her grits, and those look pretty clean. Sometimes you'll see some little particles and stuff, and I didn't wash these just because I forgot. But usually what I'll do is I'll just put these in some water, and the trash will float to the top and the grits will go to the bottom, and then you just drain that water off and you've got good clean grits. There's nothing in there that's going to kill us, so I'm not going to worry about this one. Okay, what Miss Jenny is doing now is she's going to go ahead and coat some more birds and get them ready. We've already got 3. Can you step back and let me show this? We've already got 3 here that we've fried and taken up. They're nice and crispy and brown. We've got 3 more in here that are probably about ready, and she's going to get 3 more coated in the flour. You just want to lightly coat them with the flour, and as you continue to fry and use this flour, sometimes it gets clumpy, and that's where I get in a hurry and I let that stuff stay on the I'll let that stuff stay on the bird. Is it okay if I just go ahead and check these?
Check it and see.
Okay.
No.
All right, they're not quite brown enough yet.
Looking good
We'll
and
just
crispy.
check those back again in a minute.
Try one of those and see if it's too salty.
Okay. That's a good job for me. I'm just going to go ahead and try one of these. Just pull the leg. Here's the breast and a little wing, and here's the leg.
It's his favorite job.
That's not any good at all.
I'm sure. Is it too salty?
No, that's perfect. You want to try that? I don't know if you can see this grits real good or not, but that is looking really good. That's going to be some good grits. It's still got a little while to cook. We need to put about a teaspoon of salt in it. I don't like a lot of salt in my food, and maybe a little light on the teaspoon there, and a little bit of pepper. I do like pepper. These grits are ready. And I'm going to use another little trick that I learned from my mother. I've got maybe about a ½ inch of water about to boil in this bigger pot. And now that it's about to boil, I'm going to turn it down kind of low and just keep it hot. And I'm just going to set this pot of grits in this pot. You cannot serve cold grits. And so that'll keep them nice and hot, and they won't continue to cook.
A couple of long potatoes in the bin, so I decided to fry those as well. So looks like everything's done. We're going to wait on the potatoes and then say a blessing and eat. And we've really enjoyed making these videos for you guys, and we hope you enjoy watching them. Hope Salad Jenny, fried quail and grits.